are just moments away from Electron's 74th mission, set to lift off from RocketLab Launch Complex 1 in Mahia, New Zealand. The clock is at T-minus 18 minutes to lift off for today's mission, our 16th launch of the year. Hello and good morning. My name is Sam Peters, coming to you from New Zealand, and along with me is Jess Hepworth, and we'll be taking you through today's launch operations.
Thanks, Sam. That's right. It's an exciting morning over here at Mission Control, where we're preparing for our latest mission for the Japan-based Institute of Kyushu Pioneers of Space, or iQPS. Launch preparations have been underway all morning at LC-1, and everything is looking green so far with the rocket, the weather, and the range. We're locked in and targeting the top of today's launch window, with liftoff set for 8:51 local time or 7:51 UTC.
Today's launch is our 6th satellite deployment for iQPS's constellation of Earth imaging synthetic aperture radar satellites. We've been the primary launch provider of their constellation since they began launching their QPS satellites, and we've got another 6 missions to come for the constellation following this one. We've named today's launch the Nation Guard Navigates, as the satellite we're sending to space is called Yachi Hoko 1 for the Japanese Guard of Nation Building. Today we're headed to a 575-kilometer circular Earth orbit at a 42-degree inclination to deploy Yachi Hoko 1, where it will join its fellow guards in space, all already delivered there by Electron. That includes the Moon Guard, the Lightning Guard, the Sea Guard, the Mountain Guard, and in August, the Harvest Goddess. So today it's the Nation Guard's time to fly.
With this being our 6th mission for iQPS, we recently signed an additional agreement for a further 3 launches, totaling 12 launches for their Earth imaging constellation. Each dedicated launch, like the past 5, is for a single synthetic aperture radar, or SAR, satellite. We even provide the separation systems for these missions as well. They'll be deployed from a RocketLab motorized light band.
That's right. It's a privilege to be the primary launch provider for the iQPS constellation, and we're looking forward to many more. Let's hear now from the team directly about their mission and SAR constellation capabilities.
Founded in Fukuoka with the mission of establishing a space industry in Kyushu, iQPS marks its 20th anniversary in 2025. Today, together with more than 25 partner companies, mainly based in northern Kyushu, we are developing the world-class small SAR satellite, QPS SAR. SAR satellites use radio waves, enabling observation of the Earth's surface day or night in any weather. iQPS is steadily working toward a 36-satellite QPS SAR constellation, aiming for near real-time Earth observation almost anywhere on the globe. Since launching our first satellite in December 2019, we have continued to expand our fleet and gained extensive expertise in operations. In March 2025, our new R&D hub, QSIP, was established. QSIP integrates manufacturing, testing, and shipping on one floor, enabling production of up to 10 satellites per year. This boosts efficiency and development speed, accelerating launches and service readiness. Partnering with government agencies, infrastructure operators, and others, we are already delivering results by combining satellite data with image analysis and AI. Our satellites are used for inspecting large infrastructure and monitoring wildfires, earthquakes, eruptions, and other disasters, helping detect crises early. As natural disasters and geopolitical risks increase worldwide, the need for our high-precision observation data grows more urgent every day. Faster, more accurate, covering more places than ever before. We will continue expanding our constellation, realizing a world where Earth is observed more frequently. Unlocking the potential of space and contributing to human progress. The challenge of iQPS continues.
We've absolutely loved working with iQPS to build their constellation, and we really are honoured they've trusted us as their go-to launch provider. In fact, we've actually had more Electron missions for iQPS this year than any other customer, and it's been a beautiful partnership. All right, so we've got a nice frosty Electron in front there. The team is finalising loading liquid oxygen, or LOX, into the vehicle. This super cold, high-performance propellant is loaded onto Electron as close to launch as possible, as it's essential to keep it in its super chilled state. The stage operator is responsible for fueling ops, and their status will be confirmed next during the go, no-go poll. Today we have operators in mission control here in Auckland and at the launch site in range control. We actually have 5 mission operation centres where we can operate both launches and space operations.
And today's launch director is Taylor Moore, who is managing the mission from the range. Taylor will poll each of our station operators for their readiness to proceed to launch. We're looking for a go from each operator to confirm that Electron is ready for flight. Let's check in with the LD now.
To all operators, we're proceeding with the go, no-go sequence. Commencing with stage.
Stages go.
Avionics.
Avionics is go.
GNC.
GNC is go.
Beacon.
Beacon is go.
T1.
T1 is go.
GC.
GC is go.
PLS.
PLS is go.
RSO.
RSO is go.
MET.
MET is go.
MM.
MM is go.
LD sub.
LD sub is go.
The go, no-go sequence is complete. We are T-minus 11 minutes and 27 seconds and counting. We are go for terminal auto sequence at T-minus 10 minutes. From this time, the 3-word procedure is in effect.
Fantastic. That's a resounding go across all systems, and the Nation God is cleared for flight. We're now at T-minus 11 minutes in the countdown, and so far the mission is continuing nominally. The payload is healthy, and the weather is still looking good for today's mission. Our T0 launch target is set for 8:51 a.m. While we wait for the LOX loading to be complete, now is a good time to share an update on another RocketLab mission that's about to launch, this time involving 2 of our spacecraft bound for Mars. The Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamics Explorers mission, or ESCAPADE, will send our 2 spacecraft to Mars to study the red planet's unique hybrid atmosphere for NASA and UC Berkeley's Space Sciences Laboratory, helping scientists better understand the processes that drive space weather changes there.
That's right. The 2 spacecraft, named Blue and Gold after Berkeley school colors, are in Florida and ready for launch from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. The pair are based off our Explorer spacecraft platform. Now, when they're in their stowed position, they each measure about 1.5 meters wide, or around 5 feet. But once their solar arrays deploy, that measurement extends up to 5 meters, or around 16 feet wide. Each of them weigh just about 200 kilograms, or 440 pounds, and they weigh more than double that once they are fully fueled for the mission.
After launch, the spacecraft will loiter in Earth's neighbourhood for 12 months until the planetary alignment window opens for their 22-month journey ahead of them to Mars. It'll take 11 months to get there as part of the crew stage, and then the pair will have 11 months to conduct their primary science mission once they're at the red planet. The twins have been patiently waiting for their moment, and that time to launch to Mars is now closer than ever. Let's take a look at the journey the ESCAPADE spacecraft and our team have taken these past couple of months to be ready for their mission to Mars.
ESCAPADE is a low-cost, dual spacecraft science mission to study Mars's hybrid magnetosphere. It's funded by NASA, the science is led by the University of California, Berkeley, and the spacecraft bus is provided by RocketLab. The bus is basically what takes the science instrument from Earth to Mars, and it's what keeps the satellite alive.
The more we learn about other planets in our solar system, the more we also learn about our own planet and its past and maybe its future as well. You know, this mission to ESCAPADE and going to Mars is helping us understand its magnetosphere. But not only that, with a platform like this, it can be adapted to do many different missions, and each of those missions may have their own way of improving life here on Earth.
So ESCAPADE represents basically doing science at a order of magnitude lower than previous. You know, we're doing it for, less than 80 million for spacecraft and launch, which is huge.
One of the ways we made these spacecraft at the price point we did was by developing them over about 3 years instead of the typical 10.
So today we brought our spacecraft in from the truck into our integration facility here, and we've been moving our spacecraft onto their rotation fixtures and setting up our ground support equipment for the rest of our testing campaign prior to launch. There's been a ton of work leading up to this. I've been working on this program for almost 2 years now. Definitely means a lot to be here and this close to launch.
I think the team is amazing. There's been, a few ups and downs along the way, and they just keep persevering. It's been a lot of hard work to get to this point, for sure.
I mean, the biggest challenge here is that part of the NASA Simplex mission is that we have to be compatible with a lot of different launch vehicles. So actually trying to design for 12 different vehicles and then eventually getting down selected to New Glenn was actually quite difficult to envelope all those performances of all the loads. So I got to design the spacecraft to be fairly robust, which is great because it's helping us get through on this rocket coming up.
ESCAPADE really fits well into Rocket Lab's overall mission to be an end-to-end space company, and it's a beautiful example of what we can do when we bring everything in-house. The ESCAPADE propellant tanks, for example, they were developed in record time in less than half a year.
Rocket Lab is an end-to-end company, so we're fully vertically integrated. We found a way to be able to parallelize the entire development and production of the spacecraft by making the tanks on their own timeline, and then when they were ready, integrating them on the spacecraft.
Honestly, it feels like a dream come true to be working on a Mars spacecraft. I'm touching hardware that I've had an impact in designing and building and testing that is going to another planet.
I think to see it for real for the first time will just be kind of pretty surreal to begin with. We'll probably all be gathered here for the launch, and we'll just be waiting for first contact. And I think once we get that, there'll be all systems go, and from there it will just be from one milestone to another, and it's just going to be fun to be part of that journey.
And my dream is that, planetary exploration also goes from billion-dollar government programs down to something much more achievable that is within the budget of a university. And ESCAPADE takes that first step.
What it unlocks is additional deep space high delta V missions, things like Mars telecommunication orbiters, asteroid rendezvous, mission to Venus, or even further.
ESCAPADE is such an important mission. The science that Blue and Gold will conduct could help researchers better understand not just how the atmosphere and magnetosphere evolve at planets like Mars, but also use that science as a model to compare Earth's own magnetosphere and atmospheric escape. We can't wait to see this mission finally fly soon. We've got our fingers crossed, so keep an eye on our socials to follow their journey to Mars once ESCAPADE is launched.
LD GCL mission.
GCLD.
Hold down mechanisms are armed. Strong back is retracted for flight.
Copy GC.
Now back to Electron and today's launch from LC1. We are just 4 minutes away from our T0 liftoff target right at 8:51 a.m. local time here in New Zealand. We're tracking no issues with the rocket, the payload, the range, or the weather as we head into the final count. Electron's flight computer will take over the countdown and run the last 2 minutes or so of the pre-launch autonomous operations. That includes final top-offs of liquid oxygen to the propellant tanks and peak pressurization across both stage 1 and stage 2 ahead of liftoff. Once we check those boxes, it'll be time for that final 10-second countdown. So let's switch back over to mission control and listen in to the final count. We'll be back with you after liftoff. Go Electron.
To all operators, from now on there should be no red flags in your critical LCCs. Beacon LD on mission card.
LD beacon.
Lock the auto sequence and confirm.
Locked.
Confirm all flight computer ASGOs are green.
All ASGOs are green.
Copy Beacon. To all operators, we are go for auto sequence start at T-minus 2 minutes. LD is go for launch.
The vehicle is fully on internal power. AFTS is green and enabled for flight.
Locked load is complete. System is in recirculation. Anti-geysering is disabled.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 tanks are pressed for flight.
High flow engine purge enabled.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
Beginning control.
Stage 1, propulsion nominal.
Electron has cleared the launch pad and the nation god is on its way to space for iQPS. Velocity is quickly climbing at more than 800 kilometers an hour and counting, with Electron just past 5 kilometers above LC1 right now. The first thing we want to listen out for from Mission Control is the call for max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure. It's that moment during ascent when Electron's increasing speed meets decreased air density to cause the maximum amount of stress against the vehicle. Let's listen in.
Cleared max Q.
Nice, clean sailing through max Q for Electron there. The vehicle speed is climbing nicely past 2,500 kilometers an hour, now at 1.5 minutes into the mission. Next up after max Q will be MECO, or main engine cutoff, which is the command to shut down Electron's 9 Rutherford engines on the first stage. Once this happens, the first and second stages of the rocket will separate, and the single remaining Rutherford engine on the second stage will fire up to fuel the rest of the Nation Guard's ride to orbit. We should be able to check out both stages during that separation event, so keep an eye out for that milestone as it occurs.
Stage 1, propulsion holding nominal. Stand by for MECO in approximately 30 seconds.
"15 seconds to staging."
Enter it burnout attack mode.
MECO confirmed.
Rutherford engine on the second stage has fired up to continue the mission to orbit. Electrons moving now at more than 7,900 kilometers per hour, past 100 kilometers in altitude. Next up will be fairing separation from this second stage. This will mark the first time QPS SAR-14 has been exposed to the vacuum of space. We might be able to see those two fairing halves split and fall away from the onboard camera view. Let's watch out for that now.
Fairing jettison confirmed.
HV discharge holding nominal.
And there they go, fairing jettison confirmed for Electron. And there on your screen is the QPS SAR-14 satellite ahead of payload deployment.
Some things you'll hear from Mission Control shortly will be HV battery discharge nominal and approaching hot swap, both of which are call-outs related to the batteries powering the Rutherford engine on Electron's second stage. These batteries are essential for driving the electric pumps that supply fuel and oxidizer to the engine.
Yep. But like most batteries, their energy eventually runs out. And since the second stage burn lasts longer than the capacity of the initial set of batteries, Electron executes a critical maneuver called the hot swap. During this process, the rocket switches to a fresh set of batteries while the engine continues firing and gets rid of the depleted ones. This action is a key milestone in the second stage's path to orbit. Let's watch and listen.
Guidance is nominal. 200 seconds remaining. HVV discharge holding nominal, approaching hot swap in roughly 30 seconds. Throttling down. Confirm hot swap successful.
And that's a clean and successful hot swap. The second stage, Rutherford, is firing hot and nominally after that action, exactly as expected. The mission has a bit further to go beyond Earth before we reach our next staging event ahead of our 575-kilometer target orbit.
HVB discharge holding nominal, and AFTS has safed.
We have a few more minutes left in this second stage engine burn before Electron reaches its nominal transfer orbit and separates the kick stage with the QPS SAR-14 satellite. Because the kick stage is released in an elliptical pattern, a transfer orbit will bring the kick stage to the altitude of its planned 575-kilometer circular orbit. That journey takes about 40 minutes or so from the moment the kick stage is separated from the second stage. Once the kick stage reaches its target, its own engine will light up to perform additional maneuvers to circularize its altitude before deploying Yachihoko 1 to join the rest of iQPS's constellation.
Right, so we're coming up now on our final staging event before payload deployment. It's a process very similar to MECO, which we completed with the first stage just a few minutes ago, but this time we have SECO for second engine cutoff of that vacuum Rutherford engine you see on your screen over there. We should see it shut down in preparation for the second stage to release the kick stage and send the Nation Guard on its way to orbit. Standing by with mission control now.
SECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Great news. That is SECO confirmed on the second stage and a successful deployment of the kick stage to its nominal transfer orbit. Great news for the mission so far.
We're here in an elliptical orbit for about 40 minutes or so until we reach our planned apogee. And then it's our Curie engine's time to shine. Curie is our secret sauce to our extreme precision. About 4 minutes before payload deployment, our tiny Curie engine will ignite for a 3-minute burn to circularize our orbit ahead of delivery for QPS SAR-14.
That's right, but for now, we're going to take a break from the broadcast while the kick stage does its thing. And we'll come back and join you to listen in on those final moments before payload deployment. See you back here shortly.
Welcome back to the broadcast for our 74th Electron mission, The Nation God Navigates, for iQPS. We had a stunning liftoff at 8:51 New Zealand time from Launch Complex 1. Today's mission was, as we like to say, nominal. We ticked off all the usual milestones like Max Q, MECO, Stage 2 burn, and SECO to set us into a transfer orbit where Electron separated the kick stage with the QPS SAR-14 satellite ahead of payload deployment.
That's right, and since the kick stage's release from Electron, it has completed its first half pass of Earth and lit its Curie engine to position itself in a circular orbit. We're now waiting for confirmation that the engine has shut off, which will mean we are just moments away from payload deployment for the Nation Guard satellite Yachi Hoko 1. Let's listen into Mission Control to hear that final call out of payload deployment.
Nominal final orbit achieved.
And there we have Curie cut off, waiting now for payload deployment and to welcome another QPS satellite to orbit.
Payload separation QPS SAR-14 confirmed.
Congratulations to the team and welcome back to space for iQPS. That's payload deployment confirmed and mission success for Electron. The Nation God has officially joined its fellow iQPS gods and goddesses on orbit. That wraps up our 6th launch for iQPS on Electron, our 5th one this year alone, with plenty more to come to deploy their Earth imaging constellation this decade.
Today's mission was our 16th Electron mission of the year with 100% mission success. And while it's nearing the end of the year, Electron's schedule is not slowing down. We have plenty more launches on the books before year's end, so be sure to keep an eye out on our socials for more details on those soon. And before we close out, let's take one last look at today's stunning liftoff. And until next time, this is RocketLab Mission Control signing off.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.